Hello, this is Eric Brainsburg, CTO of Heimdall Data. In this example video, I'm going to demonstrate how inheritance of role permissions can hide who has access to what tables within Postgres and make it nearly impossible for anybody to audit. So in order to demonstrate this, I have created this script. I'm going to start off by creating this database. I'm now going to connect to that database. Okay. Now I'm going to create a new schema. I'm going to create a table within it. I'm going to insert some data into it. I'm going to create a new user called example user. I'm going to create a role, and then I'm going to create a second role, which I'm going to then assign privileges to. Then I'm going to assign the example role to the example user, and then I'm going to grant the nested example role to the example role. And at that point, there will be privileges that are effectively hidden from casual inspection. So to do that, let's take a look at the table privileges where grantee is the example user. We can now take a look at that, and it's empty. We can verify that, however, that the nested example role does provide access to this. Now, example user, the grant table said, nope, no access. But I can prove that that is wrong. With this command right here, I'm going to come in over here, and we can now actually select from the example users table as example user, even though the grant table said, nope, no access. To demonstrate that this is an issue in other systems that are trying to report the access, I'm going to come in, I'm going to look at the example database, the example schema, and we can see the users table. dbeaver, when we take a look at this, example user is showing as having no privileges against this, even though the nested example role does show that it has access. Now, as far as how this works and how Heimdall handles this, we can go into our database browser that's part of our user interface. I'm going to look at the users, and it has example user. It shows what the granted roles are, nice and clearly and obvious here. We can then come in to the actual schema. Let's look at the tables. We can see the user table, privileges, and we can now see that the example users are showing as having insert and select access, which is accurate. So Heimdall actually looks at all the nested roles that a user may have available to them and will reflect what the permissions are through this interface. We can also do our report here, which will basically summarize all the access against the database, and that report will also show the nested role access pattern. Thank you.